Do you think in English? Here's why you should follow 6 steps that show exactly how to start. Hello everyone, welcome back to the English with Kiran. Do you have an important decision to make? Don't think about it in your native language, think about it in English. How can you start? Well, it won't help to put a book on your head. Instead, we are going to share 6 easy steps that will actually help your mind switch to thinking in English today. The importance of thinking in English, and depending on your level right now, you may first think of what you want to say in your native language and then translate it into English by thinking in English first. You won't have to translate, will help you and become more influent in English. When you think in English without translating, this also helps you internalizing the language. When you internalizing information, it means you learn it so well that you no longer need to think about it. Internalizing English means you don't need to remember the rules and pronunciations every time you speak. You just speak. Native speakers and advanced English learners don't always know why that they say is correct because they were internalizing the language. Speaking English in your head is also a great low pressure way to practice English. You don't have to worry about saying things right or being understood by others. You can make a mistake and still understand. Additionally, thinking in English is an excellent way to build your vocabulary. With words you actually use, it's important to know many words, but it's even more important to know words that you'll use in every conversations. Step number 1. Think in single words. When your mind is clear and you're not busy, 1 to 2 times a day. How? If you are just starting to learn English, don't worry, it's never too early to start thinking in English. You can begin as soon as you know even a small number of vocabulary words. Start by thinking in single words. You may not be able to make important decisions in English yet, but you can notice your surroundings in English by thinking the names of objects that you see or actions that you do. When you wake up the morning, you can think good morning, and when you are going to sleep at night, you can think long day, tired, happy, good night. When you are just starting, you may find it hard to remember to think in English. Here are some tricks you can use. Remind yourself to think in English 1 or 2 a day. Use your phone. Change your phone's lock screen to say think in English. And this way, every time you log at your phone, you get a reminder. Turn it into a game. Give yourself points every time you remember to think in English for 5 minutes. Once you reach a certain number of points, you can give yourself a reward. Leave notes around the house. For example, leave a note on your bathroom mirror with words that you would use in a bathroom. This reminds you to do your daily English thinking and gives you a group of vocabulary words you can use. With just these small steps, you'll make it easier for you to think in English as you learn more words. And the more you grow your skills, the more you can add to your thoughts, and soon you'll be thinking in full sentence. A narrator is someone who tells or reads the story. In books, the is the part without dialogue which describe what's happening. Many movies, especially documentaries, use narrator to explain certain parts. Now you get to pretend to be the narrator in your life as if your life were a movie. And narrate your own day-to-day life as you go thought it. You can do this in your own voice or pretend someone else is narrating your life like a legendary narrators Morgan Freeman or James Earl Jones. Your daily life narration may sound something like this. It's morning, she wakes up, rub her eyes, preparing to face the day. She yawns as she makes herself a cup of coffee and wonders that she should wear today. You can speak about yourself in the third person, he, she, or use the first person. You can describe everything from that, what you're doing to how you look or what you think. This will get you lots of practice with using commonly used words as well as speaking in full correct sentences. Okay, step number three, make up conversation. When you're alone and not busy once they of course, when you speak to other people, you don't just tell them about your day. Conversation come in many different topics, so you'll want to practice conversation as well. And to practice, all you have to do is make some up. Choose a topic and pretend you are speaking to someone about it. If you are getting ready for an interview, you can pretend to be at the interview. You are just trying to learn a new list of vocabulary words. You can ask yourself questions about the words. Any topic is fine. If you are stuck, you can find a huge list of conversation topics here. For example, if you're planning to go to a restaurant soon, you can practice a conversation with the waiter and think about the waiter's parts and yours. Your conversation make it look something like this. Waiter, hello and welcome to our restaurant. Do you know what you'll be ordering? You, I am not sure yet. What do you recommend? Waiter, if you like a seafood or fish of the day is fantastic. You, great, I'll have that then. You can try the conversation in different way and seeing how differently it turns out each time. Since you are practicing in your head, you can focus better on the topic instead of being distracted by pronunciation or fear of speaking to an actual person. You can also practice anywhere. We recommend practicing out loud and with a partner after you've done some pretend conversations in your head. Once you are more comfortable with the topics and the details, this way you can be confident in what you are going to say and how you are going to say. Number four, get creative. Every time you don't know how to say something in English, so you are sitting in your car and practicing your English, that's great. But what do you do when you can't think of how to say a word? Instead of interrupting a conversation to pull out a dictionary app, it's time to get creative. There's always more than one way to express something. Even if you don't know a word, you can get your idea across by thinking creatively and using other words. For example, if you're trying to explain to someone that you lost your key but can't remember the word key, you can tell them instead that I can't open my door because it's locked, or I can't get into my house. I lost the thing you used to unlock the door. Both sentences don't use the word key, but they are both clear enough to be understood. So, if you get stuck while thinking in English, don't cheat and use your native language. Instead, think of way around the word. This will be a huge help to you when you are having an actual conversation and can't remember a word. Some ways to describe a word you can remember are: it's the opposite of, it's similar to, it's a place where, it's something you used to, it's an action you do when. Here are a few more examples if you can't remember the word garage. You could say it's the place where you park your car at home. If you can't recall how to say, try saying that it's when you are really happy, the opposite of being bored. To strengthen your skills in creative speaking, you can try playing some fun games with your friends or a speaking partner. The game Taboo and Cake Phrase challenges you to say things without using specific words. You can play your own variation on the games with your speaking partner by making a list of words you often forget. Then try to get your partner to guess what would you are thinking of without actually using. Step number 5, build your vocabulary. Every time you think in English, you know that what you couldn't remember earlier, the words you don't know, which cause you get creative in. As soon as you can write down the definitions in English or the word in your native language, carry around a little book or use a note app on your phone. Every time you can't think of a word for don't know a word in English, write it down. At the end of the day, look up these words in English and write them down. This will help you fill in the gaps in your vocabulary. Now that you have a long list of new words, what can you do with them? The first step is to use them in conversations and your thoughts. A good way to do this is by grouping the words into chunks. Choose a group of around 5 words every morning and use them throughout the day. This will help you remember them in the long run. This means you can learn new English words, thoughts, movies, trailers, new segments, music, videos, inspirationals, talk, and more. As you watch any video, you can click on a word in the subtitle to see definitions, example sentences, other videos where the word appears, and the option to add the word to the flashcard deck. Okay, step number 6, use an English to English dictionary. When every time you look up a word, when you feel more comfortable thinking in English, make sure to do this in your daily life whenever possible. This includes looking up words in an English to English dictionary with definitions in English. The less you translate, the easier it will become to just think and speak in English. Once you make the change, you may be tempted to go back to your English to a native language dictionary. Don't do it. In fact, delete all your current dictionary apps and leave only a good English to English dictionary app. R2. At first, you may find that English dictionaries use words you don't know to define other words you don't know. Don't let this be frustrate you. Instead, choose a good dictionary app or website that's meant for English learner or children. These use simpler language to explain words. There are many other ways you can help your brain switch to thinking in English. For example, you can change the language on your app's phone and social media to English. But start with these 6 steps, and it will only get easier to think in English. And don't forget to start making decisions in English. Remember, you'll be making better decisions this way. It's scientifically proven. Anyways, I hope you like this video. But yes, my name is Kiran and you learn English with me. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to click red subscribe button as click and give me a thumbs up.